Introducing Charlotte, Jenny, and all that jazz.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another week of And All That Jazz with me, Charlotte.
And me, Jenny.
So Jenny, let's get straight into it. What has been centre stage for you this week?
Well, last week we were talking, weren't we, about holding each other accountable for things and going for it, being proactive, feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yep.
And a couple of weeks ago, I did mention that I had a couple of things that I wanted to be proactive about and get onto. But I've got to admit, I haven't sent those emails.
Jenny, I obviously haven't been holding you accountable enough.
Well, you didn't know, to be fair, so
I'll do more. I'll message you every day.
I didn't exactly chicken out, but I just sort of lost confidence, and so I've been putting them off a little bit. You know what I mean?
What were the emails?
So the first one was I met a chap at the Coventry Book Festival, the author that ran the In Conversation with, called Robert Ross. He was a really lovely guy, and I wanted to get in touch with him really to see if he would come on as a guest on our podcast here, but also just to chat to him really and pick his brains about what he does. And I was really impressed by the way that he hosted the In Conversation with and the way he structured it. And so as a presenter, I'm really interested in that and how he approaches it. So I just wanted to get in touch with him really and have a chat. I started the email, but then I didn't really know what to write or how to word it because I don't really know what I'm asking for, I suppose. I need to word it. I just need to word it carefully because I don't want to come across as a weirdo, a stalker, or a...
I don't think you'd come across as any of those things. But no, that's a good thing to do though. Like, he sounded really interesting when you were saying about him last week. I think he'd be a great guest.
Oh, very much so. Yeah, he was a really nice guy, and his wife, Gemma, as well. They were very approachable and lovely. So I don't think they'd give me a flat no. I just want to word it because, he's worked really hard at his career over the years. Why should he help me? So
yeah, but you have to remember that he would have had help along his way. Do you know what I mean? He would have had people sticking up for him or helping him out on his journey, and he would only be doing the same. And he sounds like a reasonable guy, like he sounds like he'd be up for that kind of thing.
You can tell that he's a nice, approachable guy, reasonable. So yeah, I should just go for it.
Well, that's definitely something that I can hold you accountable for this week. I'll be texting you every day being like, Johnny, have you sent that email yet? You should do it. I'm going to text you every day. And what was the other one?
And the other one was there's a presenter training course that I'd like to go on.
Oh, yeah.
But it's down in London and it's very expensive. And it's only 2 days. So I'm not sure that in 2 days, I'm not sure how much I would actually learn beyond what I already know. I'm wondering if it's more you're sort of paying for the contacts and being put in front of the right people.
Yeah, which is it's bittersweet, isn't it? Because you don't want to have to pay for that, but at the same time, that's literally all our industry is at the moment. Paying to go to acting workshops with casting directors, and they say you can't guarantee a role from this, but you're still networking and you're still paying for something that you shouldn't have to pay for, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, and obviously networking's important. It's important whatever job you do, isn't it? But this is so expensive. So I just don't want to come away after 2 days is going to fly by, and I don't want to come away after that with that feeling that I haven't really got my money's worth.
Is it is it a reputable company that has contacts? Do you know if they've got people to put you in contact with?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think they do. Yeah. and I've heard good things about them, but obviously it's a risk.
It's a risk, isn't it? It's a risk. Yeah.
And I've got a friend, Chris, who is in the same boat, and we keep talking ourselves into it and talking ourselves out of it in the same breath. So really, I need this week I was going to email them and just make first contact and find out a bit more about it, and maybe find out if I could tailor the sessions more specifically to myself and Chris, because we're sort of thinking about doing it at the same time, so that we're a bit more confident that we'll get what we need out of it. Because also it's training, but you don't, it's 2 days, but then you don't necessarily get a show reel out of it. It's extra for a show reel.
Oh, that's so cheeky. Oh,
It's a lot. It's a lot.
that is so cheeky. I think that if you can get out of it a learning experience as well as networking, then I would say go for it. But it's tough, isn't it? Because like if you're not going to learn anything, then if you're not going to learn anything and the contacts don't prove to be beneficial, then you're coming away with just less money.
Exactly. You've literally just gone through the exact same thought process that I go through several times a day over it. Yeah. So I need to send that first email and just make contact and find out more about it, really. But again, I've kind of been putting it off because I just haven't quite had the brain space to dedicate to it this week.
Yeah. And maybe you're also putting it off because you kind of know what the answer is going to be, and maybe it will give you the answer that you don't want, which is why you're not doing it. But then I guess that would kind of answer the question for you. It's so tough being a creative because, like I said, like when those are your only options and you can't just make those natural connections every day. It's so hard to then have to spend your kind of hard-earned money just to get yourself ahead, which I understand is what education is for. And like you said, if it's all stuff that you already know, and it's the same with like acting workshops with casting directors or acting workshops with directors, people aren't really going to those things to learn anything. You're literally only going so that you're in front of
The right people.
yeah. That's kind of sad that you have to do that as a creative, in my opinion, because then it takes all of the creative kind of juices out of it. And for me, you end up just performing, basically. You end up just wanting to be the best version of whatever you are that day in that space, instead of actively trying to learn something new because you're trying to show off.
Yeah, yeah.
So that you're remembered, or so that, you know, if you audition with them further down the line, they'll remember your face from this thing or that thing or whatever it is. It's wild. What a crazy industry we're in.
It is, yeah. I think you're right. I probably do. The answer is within, but I just need to do a bit more research about it and get the ball rolling. That's the word. Could do with some guidance. Talking of which,
I was just about to say, didn't you have like a really crazy experience recently with like a crystal reading?
I did. Yeah. So my best friend, Karen, shout out to Karen. She sent me a photograph of her brother's vintage rocking horse that they were clearing out from the loft. And she said, you know, we haven't got space for it anymore. We don't have children in our family at that age now. So do you want it? Or do you know anyone perhaps at the theatre for props or TV set dressing, anything like that? So I put it on the Crew Brum WhatsApp group. Great bunch of film and television professionals who share ideas, links, job posts, all of that kind of thing. Anyway, so I put it on there, and straight away, a guy called Fen got back to me. Shout out to Fen.
Hi, Fen.
He put me in touch with this chap called Rob. So all within sort of 24, 48 hours, I went and collected the rocking horse from Karen, put it in my boot, drove it over to Kidderminster and found this guy, Rob. And he it was on this industrial estate, and he sort of appeared out of nowhere.
In a puff of smoke.
And he's sort of wizard. He looks like a wizard. Lovely guy. And he was going to renovate this rocking horse and then donate it to charity. We got chatting and he was telling me about he does a lot of gardening with Venus flytraps or fly traps, you know. He was telling me all about that. And I said, so what's your business here? You know, what do you actually do on this industrial estate? And he said, well, I'm a dowser. And he got out a crystal on a little chain. And then he did me this like crystal reading. And so the crystal swings in different directions as to the energy that you're giving off and the energy from your chakra. I don't really understand it all, but I'm open to ideas and, you know, I'll take help where I can get it. I need all the help I can get. So I'm not fussy. But he was such a lovely guy and he just did this reading for me and it was so accurate and perceptive.
Oh, really? And he didn't know you were all.
Doesn't know me at all. I didn't know him. We don't know the same people even. This guy that put us in touch was randomly off this WhatsApp group who I don't know. So there's no connection whatsoever.
So what did he say?
So he went through the different chakra points and he came up with a couple of like health issues that I might have, which were quite accurate. And he said about my house needed clearing of bad energy. So there was that. Yeah, a couple of things. Fascinating.
That's so cool. Yeah, because I'm not sure whether I buy into any of that stuff. And you're like, I do. My mom does like yoga, and she's really into like all of the chakras and the breathing and all that kind of stuff. And for me, I just love the stretching. So like, I went to a family yoga class on Sunday, which is free. So there's basically like yoga in the park, and there's like 45 different places all across the UK on a Sunday morning, and it's just yoga outside and it's completely free. You just turn up, they do some yoga, and it's for like all abilities. But she was talking about breathing and your chakras and the energy from the sun and all that kind of stuff. And I'm a bit like, I don't, obviously connecting with earth and connecting with the your surroundings and all of that, I think is really important. But the chakra thing, I don't know, like I've read a couple of books by Sadhguru, who I think I've talked about before, and obviously he talks about being a yogi and whatnot. He talks about all the chakras and stuff like that.
Oh, get him, boo boo. Eating yogi bear.
They're back. The impressions are back. And I don't know, like I think maybe you need to practice it to really get into it and understand it all, and for it to have like any effect, because you have to consciously practice something. Whatever it is in life, you do have to consciously practice it for it to have an effect on your life. So maybe it's just because I haven't done that, but yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested to see, same as going to like clairvoyance and stuff, like I'd be interested to see what they had to say to me.
Right. So I'm the same. I'm not against it. And I wouldn't say I'm a skeptic because I'm open to ideas, especially around energy, because I really think when you meet somebody at work or whatever, you connect with certain people straight away. Like you actually, when we met,
Our chakras aligned.
we hit it off straight away. And it was as though we'd known each other forever.
That is true.
And some people are like that. And then other people, it's not that you don't like them or don't get on. There's just something about you that doesn't click.
Yeah, maybe they were a predator to you in a previous life or something.
Exactly, yeah. So I definitely think there's something in it. And I think you attract the energy that you put out. And I've been reading about that in the last couple of years. And I really think that there's something in that. A lot of people now are talking about manifestation, so and that kind of thing. So I'm definitely open to those ideas. So I wouldn't say I'm a skeptic.
No, it's crazy, isn't it, when you go somewhere like that though, and then someone just says stuff to you that resonates with you that they would never have known because you've not said it to them.
Yeah, but you say about going to a clairvoyant and tarot readings and stuff. Well, I sort of believe that those things should find you. So I wouldn't pay to go and have a reading. But the way that it happened yesterday, this guy was just put in my path, So I kind of feel like that was meant to be. And it all happened. So, I mean, a rocking horse, random, and it all just fell into place really easily. So it kind of just all flowed. And I was literally placed in front of this guy, and he didn't push this reading on me at all. It was just like part of the conversation. So I felt very comfortable and open to it. Whereas, if you're at a church fair and there's a tarot reader with a headscarf on and she's asking for £25 for a reading, it's a bit of a difference. It's a bit of fun maybe, but it's a different scenario, isn't it? So yeah, anyway, so that happened.
That's such a crazy story. Like my brother has a similar story. Like his girlfriend, her nan was
Clairvoyant.
yeah. So she was like one of those. But one day, like my brother kind of went and met her, and his girlfriend hadn't told her anything about my brother or like anything about his past or anything like that. And he said he was sat next to her on the bed one day, and a little bit of a backstory. So my cousin died when I was 14. She was 22, and then my other cousin died 9 years ago when he was 26. Who's 5 days younger than me. And my brother and my sister have both had experiences now like this, but my brother's was the weirdest because she was sat next to him and she was like, out of nowhere, she was just like, somebody is with you on your, that was going to make me cry then. Somebody is with you on your buying and selling journey. So at the time he was buying and selling stuff on Amazon. And she said to him that someone was with him on his journey. And at first he thought that it was my granddad, because my granddad used to like buy and sell stuff. And my dad's side of the family have all like bought and sell stuff. But she was like, no, it's a young woman and she's sat next to you right now. And she knew nothing. Like she knew nothing about Emma. She knew nothing about like the fact that she died. Like she knew absolutely nothing about any of that stuff. And she just came out with it, and John was like, I just started crying because he was like, it literally came out of nowhere, and I was like, that is wild. So stuff like that, when it's just kind of like you said, like out of the blue and random, it is quite scary.
There are things that we don't have an explanation for, definitely.
Yeah, there are 100%. What a wild experience.
Yeah. So I came away from that really sort of optimistic, and he's gonna guide me.
Good. That's really exciting. Maybe we should get some crystals. Start going up to strangers in the street and just randomly giving them a reading. It might cheer up their day.
Lucky Heather. So maybe Rob and his crystal guidance will lead me into being proactive this week and facing my fears and sending those emails out. But the other strange thing about that happened is that afterwards I've been thinking about it, and I realised that I've had this thing the last few months because it's Year of the Horse. Apparently, the Year of the Horse is going to be really good for me. And I've put like a picture of a horse on my screensaver on my phone, and I bought a horse bedspread. I'm sounding really kooky now. I'm not really into all that normally, but I just, needed some sort of inspiration this year over the last few months. So I went with it. Yeah, and so there's this rocking horse, and this rocking horse led me to this guy. I mean, that is a coincidence, isn't it?
It's weird that you're embracing the horse and then a horse just came into your life, for sure.
Exactly. And I've been doing these horse shows, which actually I'm going off to do one this weekend. Yeah, more horses. Horses everywhere.
More horses. It's better than the floors. I think the horse obsession is better than the floor obsession, I think.
I wouldn't say it was an obsession with floors, just an appreciation of the floors and the woodwork. So, and talking of coincidences, I was telling my mum all this, and she told me of another coincidence that happened, that back when she was pregnant, so we're talking 1983.
But how old does that make you?
I'm 25, darling. She went to the Palace Theatre in Redditch with her good friend Linda Caswell, who is sadly no longer with us. She was a lovely lady, and her husband is a musician, John, and he was playing a gig at the Palace Theatre. So they went along, and my mum was pregnant with me, and they were listening to the music, and she felt me move for the first time at the theatre. I'd never heard that story before, and she came out with it. And then it's funny because that was the first time that she felt me move, was in the theatre, but also the Palace Theatre specifically, because then later on in life, that was the first place I saw my first theatre show. It was Button Moon, yeah. And then years later, I met my husband there, working there. And then after that, I was working there and I was clearing out this old bookshelf. And down the back of the bookshelf was some old flyers. And there was one flyer for Button Moon, which was the first show that I saw there.
That's so wild. I'm not going to lie. I thought you were going to say something about horses. I thought no, that's so cool.
No, there was actually no horse relation to that story, but it's just a story about coincidences and how, sometimes you're tied to people or places.
As if there was a flyer there of the first show that you ever went to see.
I know, that's incredible. So I've brought it home. And I am going to frame it, actually, put it up in Austin's room next to a flyer for the first show that he saw at the theatre. That was at the Birmingham Rep. Yeah, there's a tie in there. It's funny, isn't it, how these things come about?
Oh, that's cute. Oh, that'd be sweet. Yeah, I don't have any things like that. I don't have any like coincidences that have happened to me. I was just sucked out of my mother's womb, chucked into the world. Oh, funny.
No, but you'll encounter coincidences along the way, I'm sure.
Yeah, maybe I just don't pay much attention. Maybe that's my problem.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? There's a bit of a placebo effect that once you start noticing things, then you notice them more.
That's really cool though. Like how cool that your mum felt you for the first time, like in a theatre that you would then work at. Like that, just I've never heard anyone's story like that before. You were meant for the stage, darling.
well, yeah, I was actually christened by Reverend John Ely, who was the cooking canon on the BBC morning television back in the day. So we joke that I was actually christened into show business. But yeah, I'm off to Hickstead for the horse show this weekend. So I'll be running across that arena. And then I've also picked up some work on a show called Money for Nothing. It's a morning daytime television show where they renovate furniture. So they go to the tip, they go to the skip or the recycling centre, as you call it these days, and they rummage through people's boots to see what they're chucking out. And then they say, oh, can we take this off you and renovate it? So they take it, renovate it, and then sell it. And then they take the cash that they've made and give it back to the original owner that they met back at the skip. So I'm doing some work as a runner, chaperone, driver.
Chaperone for who?
I think it's for one of the presenters.
Oh, nice. That'll be fun. Is it your first time working with them?
It is, yeah. Yeah. Funnily enough, they're based up in Scotland. They're called Freelancers Films, and they're based up in Scotland, similar to Homes Under the Hammer, Line Television. Another coincidence. There you go.
I'm just loving these coincidences this week.
Right. On that note, I'd better gallop off into the sunset.
Gallop off into your future of horses.
But what have we learnt?
What have we learnt?
It's Year of the Horse.
It's the Year of the Horse. Actually, I didn't actually know that, to be fair. So that is a good lesson this week.
And to look out for those coincidences.
Keep your eyes open.
Keep your bum in the saddle.
Keep your bum in the saddle.
Well, join us next time for more on theatre, television, horses,
and all that jazz.